Are you a person that notices your battery life is low before the day is actually over? Here are 10 ways we would recommend that should squeeze out a little bit more battery out of your device. First, we would recommend turning off auto brightness and setting the brightness between 25 and 50% at max, and lower if you can actually deal with it. You can change the brightness by either going to settings, display and brightness, and changing it from there, or bringing it up from control center with a swipe up from the bottom of your display. Second, have you actually ever noticed the animation between switching apps, or that moving your device actually moves the background image? What you're actually seeing is Apple's Parallax effect to give it more depth. Turning off the Parallax effect will drastically improve your battery life. It's as simple as going into Settings, General, Accessibility, and selecting and enabling Reduce Motion. While you should also change the wallpaper of yours to something more static and help improve battery life. The third thing you should do is turning off Spotlight Search, or at least some of the apps that it searches through, which is the search bar that is brought up when you swipe down from the home screen that gives you some recommendations. You can get to this setting by going into Settings, Spotlight Search, and disablling either the whole thing or make it app by app and choose the one that you don't use. It will also allow your device to not have to constantly record data of your apps. Fourth, changing Fetch on email and setting it to either hourly or manual will help prevent your iPhone from constantly looking for email and use more power consumption than either of the other settings. You can achieve this setting by going into Settings, Mail, Contacts, Calendars, and change Fetch New Data, which will set to push to either a time limit between fetching of email or just manual. Next up is to turn off location settings, or at least some of the settings it uses. You can get to the setting by going to Settings, Privacy, Location Services, and either turn the whole thing off or scroll down and select System Services, which will allow you to disable things that you may never use or find useful, such as location-based iAds, HomeKits, and others. And number 6 is the disabling of background app refresh. You can get to this setting by going into Settings, General, then Background App Refresh, and turning off everything, or at least disabling all the applications you don't need constant refreshing of information for. Sometimes it's useful, but other times it just drains more battery than you needed. The 7th thing you should do is the use of turning things off like Wi-Fi and Bluetooth when not in use. When you're not using these things actively, they will put more strain on your battery than if it was just turned off. Both these settings are a swipe up from the bottom of the display in Control Center, or you can go into Settings and turn it off from there. The 8th thing we recommend doing is actually leaving all apps that you constantly use in the background, while closing any that you don't use that often. Power consumption is spent more on apps you constantly look at than if you kept it in the background, so closing ones that you don't use is actually worth closing. Next to the final thing you should do is turn off LTE or 4G and even data when not in use. You can get to the setting from going into Settings and Cellular, and turn off either cellular data or going into cellular data options and changing Enable LTE or 4G to off. Turning this off, especially when you are in a location or area that has low signal, or you will not use it for that time period, will drastically improve and lengthen your battery life. Finally, using your iOS device all the time in low power mode can help and will help improve your battery life. You can activate this mode even if you are not below 20% by going into Settings, Battery, and turning on low power mode. Low power mode will reduce the strain on your battery by lowering the processing speed of your device and reduce a lot of background processes. If you can get away with it and don't mind what the settings disable, you should use it. Hopefully these 10 ways to help improve your battery life will actually be useful to you. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please like it and subscribe to our channel. This is Show You Tech, and until next time, bye.